You know, there's nothing quite so hopeless as a cemetery. A cemetery is in all our futures because we are all sinners. God warned our first parents, of the tree of the knowledge of good and evil you shall not eat, for in the day that you eat of it, you shall surely die. Eat of it they did, and sentenced all of us to a life of sin. And the wages of sin is death. Cemeteries remind us of this like few other things. Cemeteries are stark. They are a constant reminder that death is in our future. But 2,000 years ago, in a cemetery just outside of Jerusalem, came the greatest news for all of us. The tomb Nicodemus and Joseph put Jesus in on Friday evening was empty by Sunday morning. And that means that our graves will also be empty on the last day. We believe in a living Christ, and our living Christ brings living hope to all our hopeless situations. The hopelessness of a marriage ending, the hopelessness of not being able to find meaningful work, the hopelessness of not being able to receive life-sustaining medical care, the hopelessness of shootings and murder every single day on the streets of our cities, the hopelessness of never-ending war, rising prices that are not matched by rising salaries, and in our sinful human nature, we tend to look for hope in all the wrong places. Many people turn to alcohol or drugs, maybe not expecting hope so much as to numb the hopelessness. Others turn to relationships. The current relationship isn't working, so they turn to someone else, and then someone else when that doesn't bring hope, and then someone else, and on and on. Others bury themselves in work, in their career, and try to find hope in making more money. None of this brings the hope that we are looking for, because hope can only come from one place, an empty tomb, and from one person, the living Christ. It might surprise you to know that of all people, it is Peter who writes about this hope, the same Peter who fell far and hard into hopelessness. He denied knowing Jesus 3 times in the span of a couple of minutes. In his hopeless despair, he wept bitterly as Jesus goes to the cross and then to the tomb. Peter never fully gave up hope, however. There was a flicker of hope in Peter, and within a few weeks, Peter would come to know living hope in a very personal way, as Jesus calls him to be his messenger of living hope, as many times as Peter denied Jesus. And so Peter speaks to you today to fan into flame that flicker of hope in you. Peter tells you clearly that hope is found not in what we do, but by God's great mercy. He knows. Listen to him. And in God's great mercy, you are born again.